Hey y'all, hey. Welcome back to Thugging It Out. Thugging It Out is a platform where we create a safe space to acknowledge, experience, and overcome real life issues in a positive and healthy way. Before we get started, make sure you follow us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel at Thugging It Out Podcast and follow us on Instagram at _Thugging It Out _. We drop episodes every Saturday on the YouTube channel as well as every Wednesday on all podcast platforms. So make sure you just follow us and get ready for the tea. Get ready for the content and just kind of thug it out with us. Before we hop into this episode, I just want to give a disclaimer. I know I sound as if I'm very congested, that I'm under the weather, but I am actually pretty okay. I have been dealing with this, cold, allergies, congestion, after effects of my kids being in daycare. Who knows what it is? I've been dealing with it for the past week, I feel like, and even though I don't sound like my normal self and I don't sound as if I am 100% okay, I'm good, so don't worry. And hopefully my voice is not as irritating. I really hope it ain't. But that's neither here nor there. Let's hop into this episode. It's a week of what I am a week away from my 30th birthday. And quite frankly, I was journaling today and I do not know how I feel. I'm a little excited. I'm a little anxious. And I'm kind of a little bit in disbelief because I don't know about y'all, but I've been seeing a lot of TikToks speaking on the fact that millennials are like still childish as hell, even though we're in our 30s. And we're getting older and we're mature and we're doing a lot of grown up things, even though we feel very childish. And even though I hate that so many of us are kind of childish and not actually being real adults, I hate that for us to a certain extent, but I 100% relate to the feeling of just still being a child. Like, I don't know. Like, I know I'm 29 and I know I'm about to be 30 in a week. I have kids. I'm married. And I understand I do a lot of adult things. However, I just still feel like I'm a kid at heart. And I know some people say you have to stay a kid. Like, why take life so serious? But it's a little off-putting when I really sit and think about, like, your girl is truly about to be 30 in a week. Like, I don't know. I guess it just makes me reminisce and think about all the times when I was young and I was in my prime and I was calling all the 30 plus club, like all the old hoes. Excuse my French, but like that used to be my thing. And older ladies don't come for me now because I would never be an old hoe. But I remember like being 19, 20, because I was in clubs way before I was able to get in clubs, or being in like the 30 and plus lounges and being nothing but like 21. And it would just always be the 30 and up crowd in there, and the women would just be like looking down. I used to look at those mad old hoes, and it used to be so funny. And now, full circle, years later, I'm the old hoe. And so it's so many words, which is nuts. I know with age, you're supposed to be getting wiser and you're supposed to appreciate it more, but I don't know. It's just something about getting older that's scary a little bit. I wonder, do y'all agree? I wonder, do most people get afraid of age? And it's like, it's weird because as you age, you start to appreciate life more and you just recognize how blessed you are to just reach a certain point in life because, you know, not everyone is as fortunate. But also, it's the other side where you just like, dang, I've been here how many years? I've been doing this for how long? Man. So that's kind of in the space that I'm in as far as this whole new decade, this whole new era I'm about to enter. Your girl is just uneasy. And we were in this lesson learned series due to, of course, in honor of my birthday. And this week, I wanna combine a few topics. I wanna touch on a few little different things. The first one I wanna speak on is fear, because y'all just heard me say how scared I am of 30, and how most of us are scared of age. And I want to reason with you, and reason low-key with myself as well. But let's reason. Fear is a tactic of the enemy. Like, when we really sit down and think of it, fear is like a pointless emotion. And it's one of those things where you just feel as if, like, yes, it shows that you're human, but fear is the most pointless emotion of all the emotions. Like, if we just really sit and think about it, like, what the fuck is the point of being scared? Excuse my French. I know I said I was working on cursing. That was one of my New Year's resolutions. And clearly I'm still working. So bear with me. Anyways, back to the story. But let's really think. What do you get out of being scared? Like, have y'all really truly recognized that fear is like the most pointless emotion? Like, let's just think, when you're watching a scary movie, you could sit there, you could watch it, you could know that it's fake. Like, Freddy Krueger, it's not real. Jason ain't real. All these people is not real. But for some reason, as you watching it, you jump in, you get in, even when it's over, you're like, damn, I don't really want to sleep by myself. And, I don't want to get up and go get something to drink. But it's like one of these pointless emotions, because it tricks your mind into believing something that's totally false. And I think if people start really looking at fear as a trick, maybe you won't succumb to it as often. Because fear, I feel as if, is the main culprit behind idleness. I feel like the main reason why most of us are kind of stuck in a lot of areas, and why we're not willing to take the next step, is because we have been letting fear control our lives, when fear shouldn't even really be in our lives in the first place. And it's crazy, because as humans, we just naturally let fear come in and dictate our lives, when it's like, I thought you were in control. You were the boss. And if you is the boss, what are you scared of? Like, I know I saw a post, and it was like, I cannot stand people who don't tell the truth. Like, what are you scared of? And I think that's the type of dynamic that we really need to start having when it comes to really getting serious about our lives. Like, when we really get to the gist of it. Like, for example, if you want to start a business, but you're afraid to start a business, like, we need to start questioning ourselves, like, what are you scared of? Failing? Are you scared of succeeding? Like, what are you scared of? Like, really, what is going to happen if you just do it? And I think we get so stuck on, but what if it fails? And what if it don't work? Or what if they laugh at me? What if, we get so consumed with the negatives that we don't even take into account, but what if it succeeds? What if you become a millionaire? What if you make a lot of money? What if you build the foundation for your family? What if you give this person an opportunity? Like, we get so consumed with the bad and the worst case scenarios that we forget to even consult with the good stuff. Like, what if? Like, what if I do go back to school? Here, that scenario. What if I go get that certificate? Well, that's going to be me being in more debt. How I'm going to pay for this? How I'm going to pay for it? It's like, but what if it unlocks a door that you've been trying to get through? What if it creates an opportunity that you never would have had if you never did it? Like, we really need to stop having conversations with fear. And I get it. We're human. It's a natural emotion in our bodies. I have, let's just do like a science lesson, but our bodies, our brains are basically in control of our bodies. If you know, you know, everybody know. And sometimes in different situations, our brain basically process the situation, and it kind of lets us know, it tells us how we're supposed to cope or deal with the situation that we're encountering. And sometimes, even though our brain is in control and it's a subconscious thing, it's like automatic, sometimes we have to override our brain, so to speak. It's kind of like a robot, or kind of like any type of electronic software. It's like something will automatically do something, but like with anything, certain things might not be processed right, or it might be certain errors, or it might be something that was picked up incorrectly. And that's when it's up to us to override that. Like, okay, this is something new, and my brain is telling me that I should be scared, but let me let me rethink this and say, fear is not the emotion. How about, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like, what about, instead of being fearful, what about being, excited for it, curious about it, asking questions for it? It's like you could find a different emotion to use versus than just fear. Like, because every situation is not scary. Everything should not be scary. And granted, you will be in some shit that might scare you in life. Like, you might be in certain situations where fear is the appropriate emotion. But that's not a case for most of us, especially when we really start to think about life and life choices and our life outcomes. Majority of the reasons why we're stuck in certain places is due to the fact that we're letting fear run parts of our lives that they have no business in. And this is your reminder to stop operating out of fear. Like, stop being so scared. Like, even now, if you go on TikTok, it's so many preppers that's like prepping for the end of the world. It's so many people like, yeah, you better get some water, you better get some face masks, you better get this, you better get that. And solely, personally, real transparent moment, me being 100% honest, me being 100% Kenya, I'm not fooling with that. And I get it. Everybody's saying that they're a prophet and that they heard this and they preparing and you gonna be sorry when you ain't prepared. But it's like, people are operating from a place of fear. Let's step back a little bit. When 2020 came and COVID came, it hit everybody off guard. And it created a lot of circumstances where people weren't able to do certain things. People wasn't able to cope in different ways. And it was a situation that nobody was prepared for. And that trauma, in so many words, created fear in people's head, that now people are so fear of the unknown that they're trying to prepare for stuff that is just ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, who knows if we might get nuked or whatever, or what might happen in this crazy world. Who knows what can happen? I don't know. And they don't know. But the fact that so many people are operating from a place of fear, where they're getting backpacks, they got all this extra stuff, they're spending money and resources and energy to prepare for something that you don't know might or might not happen. It's no signs to it. It's nothing that's saying like, oh, this is going to happen this time. It's all predictions, and it's all based out of fear. When people, instead of trying to stop their lives and figure out ways to not die, in so many words, how about you figure out ways to live? Like, people are so focused on just surviving and operating from out of this place of being scared, when they're not operating out of a place of peace, out of a place of happiness, where they're just trying to figure out ways to live. So, stop talking to fear. Tell fear to go about its business, and you start having conversations about life. Like, start focusing on just today. Be more present. Learn how to enjoy whatever you have and figure out ways to keep enjoying to keep that feeling going, to keep that love, to keep that peace, to keep that harmony. You figure out ways that you can do that without fear. Because fear is stopping a lot of us. It's making us idle, and it's making us stuck. And it's sad in a way, because a lot of us are not peaking. A lot of us are not hitting or going to places that we need to go. And it's setting everyone back as a whole. Because let's be real here. When you deal, parents, when you deal with financial hardship, you are holding your children back, because that stress, it initially gets trickled down to the kids. It gets trickled to the way of life. It gets trickled down. Or, say for instance, you're being stuck because you're scared to walk away in a relationship. That toxicity in a relationship, that's going to end up weighing you down. It's going to end up setting you far apart. It's going to stop you from actually meeting or being with the person that was actually meant for you. Or, another scenario, if you being stuck into a job or a position that you hate and that you just doing it for the money, you are preventing yourself from getting to your true purpose. Because let's be real here, nobody is put on this earth to suffer, to be unhappy, and to go to a job every day that they hate. Maybe you are wasting your time at this company when you need to be finding other avenues to make you happy. And I'm not saying to just quit your job and go AWOL. Of course not. But I'm saying, if you're in a position where you know it's not feasible and it's not sustainable for your happiness, then you need to figure out a plan B. Because what is the point of being miserable throughout life? Or being so afraid to try something different that you just gonna stay stuck and be miserable? That is just completely ridiculous. So stop. And I know I'm sounding real auntie-ish. I'm getting into my 30-year-old era where I'm telling y'all about yourself. But no, I'm saying this in all seriousness. Let go of fear. Fear can't run you. Fear can't run your house. It can't run your life. And it damn sure should not be running your mind. Because if it is, you always be in fight or flight mode. You always be like, damn, should I be fighting or should I be running? Am I running or I'm fighting? And that's not sustainable for nobody. Period. So get rid of fear. Next thing I want to touch on for this week is rebirth. Rebirth. We all need to start new eras, start new ways of thinking, start new lives, start new hobbies, start something new. And I know I just talked about fear, but it all ties in that a lot of us are living boring lives. And when I say boring, I'm not just mean like boring. I mean, some of us just work and go home. Some of us work, take care of our kids and go home. Some of us work all week, party all weekend. And it's all consumed with boringness. Nothing is filling our cup. Nothing is challenging us. Nothing is getting our creative juices going. And nothing is being created from us. Like, a lot of us are stale and in these positions where it's like, oh yeah, just go to work. Just work, go home, take care of kids. Or I just work, go home, and I party all weekend, and that's it. Or I travel and I go to this place. It's like blah, blah, blah. So boring, so typical. Like, what do you like to do? And I get it. Going out is fun. Taking care of your kids is all right. Working, you got to. But what is something that you genuinely enjoy that you want to do? I feel like majority of us don't have that. None of us have something that we could say, I genuinely enjoy this, and this is what I'm going to start doing. And I want to challenge everyone to find your niche. Find it. Start doing something new. Maybe it's, I can never dance, but now I'm finna join this dance studio. where I'm doing ballet today. I might do hip hop. I might do twerk class. I might do samba, Zumba. It's like, try something new. Or, I always wanted to be creative. I want to start this art class, or I want to start horseback riding, or I'm going to start swimming, or I'm going to start tennis. I want to start this. I want to start that. Find a hobby. And find a hobby outside your kids, outside your life, outside your husband, outside your girlfriend, outside of work. Find it. And also try to do it with just you. It don't always have to be hey girl, let's do this together. Or hey babe, let's do this together. Do it for you. Find your niche, start your hobby, and stop playing around. Get creative. Figure out what can add to your cup. And not just the basic, oh, I'm going out of town today. Oh, I'm going to brunch. Oh, I'm like, find something, find a hobby. Like, yes, that's what it is. Find a hobby. I know this spring, I am looking to start tennis classes. I've been looking it up, and I said, it's a good way so I can get to working out. I'm thinking about starting tennis. And honestly, I want to do golf as well. I know, don't judge me. Like tennis and golf, yes, I want to try that. Also, I want to do pottery. And possibly horseback riding. It's a lot of hobbies that I want to do. But I got to narrow it down. But find a hobby. And I promise you, it will change your perspective. It will give you a different outlook. And also, it will open your network to new people. Open your life up to new people by just starting something new. Because keep constantly doing the same thing over and over again, it has its reasoning. Like, we all need schedules, we all need discipline, we all need consistency. However, we need times where we start introducing new things to where we don't just get consumed with the day-to-day. When we don't just get so tied to life as we know it. And we get so consumed where we put ourselves in boxes. And I feel like a lot of people do this. Like, oh yeah, I'm in this box. I got my man, I got my kids, I got my friends, I'm here. But it's like, don't put yourself in a box. Do not put yourself in a box. You should be able to get options. We need options. Don't put yourself in a box. And do not be scared to get out the box. Because a lot of us are already in the box. A lot of us feel like we got to figure it out and we okay with it. When honestly, you need to try something different. You need to be open to different possibilities, different opinions, different cultures, different experiences. So stop being scared to get out the box. Get out the box, goddammit. But your girl, my nose is starting to run, which is probably too much info. But whatever, y'all know I'm honest with y'all. And my sickness that I say I'm not really sick is starting to take over me. And I feel like my voice is going to start going out. So that is all that I have for today. So no more fear. Find a hobby. Start a new era. Start a new era with me. Your girl will be 30 next week. It will not be alive this upcoming Saturday. It might not start back until April because your girl has been married for a year come Sunday. And I will be 30 come Wednesday. So your girl has a lot of life that I have to enjoy. And that means that until we meet again in the next few weeks, this is all I got. But in the meantime, between time, I want you guys to really find a hobby. Start something new. And make sure you at me or message me or whatever. And let me know. And if you're in the Memphis area, Collierville really, let me know. If we can start some new stuff together because your girl, I'm trying to get out my box. And I want y'all to get out the box as well. Let's get out the box. But in the meantime, between time, make sure you be grateful, be blessed, be thankful, but most importantly, keep thugging it out. Peace.